Going on this guy. So, 10K. Alright guys, I'm going to show you exactly what I was running in that Den Mother clip there. Right now I am running this Edgemaster Scorpion. I've imprinted it with the skills deal up to 68% damage based on the available primary resource. This is just to get our pin shot as high as we can. I think this is the best essence to put on your crossbow since it's a two-hander. This was originally 34% aspect, but since I put it on a two-hander, it doubled it. I'm running when you cast an imbuement skill, you trigger an imbued explosion around yourself, applying the imbuement. So basically, if you're in a pack, you can hit your shadow imbue and you'll just you'll get one for free on your mobs to start the explosions. I've imprinted you deal 10% increased damage for each second you stand still, just to try and get our damage up as much as possible. The bad part about this aspect right now is it takes like 2 seconds to start adding up. So hopefully they change that to where as soon as you stop, it automatically triggers. If they do, I think this will be good for our combo because we get 30% in 3 seconds. We do 3 attacks, we get 3 attacks out in like 2 seconds. So we can almost always have 20% if it starts working correctly. If not, you just have to sit still on bosses for a second. This ring I am just using for now because it has a vulnerable damage and a damage to distant enemies. Or something to put in there, probably the marksman's abilities drops a rain of arrows that does some amount of damage. This ring I am using whenever penetrating shot damages an enemy, it splits into additional arrows. If I had the option, I would probably split this aspect and this aspect. Whenever I read it, I thought if you make something vulnerable, you'd get a 75% chance to get 3% crit and stack 3 times. But the way it reads, it has up to a 75% chance, so it's not even guaranteed to be up to. I apply vulnerable with my basic. I can do it pretty much all the time, and I don't see this trigger a lot. So as of right now, this one I would probably avoid. But for the main part, you basically just want the whenever you have more resource, you do more damage, and then the splitting penetrating arrow. I'm also using this on my gloves. Attacking enemies with the basic skill increases the next damage of your next core ability by up to 50. This is really good. This could be good on your amulet as well because it would go up to 15%. After 3 attacks, you'd be at 45. That's near max. I wouldn't put it on your main weapon just because you can get it to max regardless, and we can get more damage off of other stuff like our primary resource thing. For helm, chest, pants, and boots, it's not really that necessary because those aren't your damage abilities, but this is what I'm doing now. And then for chest, damaging an elite gives you a barrier. Pants, while you have a barrier active, there's a 20% chance to ignore damage. And then while you're unstoppable, you gain move speed. For passives, I'm running 1 point in puncture, 1 point enhanced, 1 point in fundamental, 5 points in penetrating shot. The more you can get on your armor, the better to go overcap. 1 point enhanced, 1 point improved pin shot. Running 1 point caltrops to get enhanced, and then discipline caltrops. 2 points in dash just to reduce our cooldown a little bit more, and then 1 point enhanced dash. 1 point in concealment, 1 point in enhanced stealth, 1 point in subverting stealth. This lets us caltrops packs and make them vulnerable. Oh. 3 points in weapon mastery, 3 points in shadow imbuement, 1 point enhanced shadow imbuement, 1 point blended. And that is it. Alright, I'm going to give you guys kind of like a rundown of how I play the build. Basically, you want to make sure you're always 5 stacked autos with your core skill. You can stack it on inanimate like breakable objects or just random enemies. For your pin shot, you want to always make sure that you shadow imbue before you pin shot, and the more enemies it goes through, the more damage it does. So if you can position your elites at like the end of your pools, it'll always do the most damage if you've gone through the fodder. Okay, so here I'm doing a run of Light's Watch. I'm just trying to run through to see how quick I can heal Den Mother. You want to imbue off of cooldown because your imbue cooldown starts ticking even before you use it. So you can always have like 2 imbues up and then have your cooldown ticking to get 2 more. The main damage dealers of the build is just pin shot. Your puncture does a lot of auto damage. So, I mean, honestly, if you don't feel like pin shotting random packs, you don't have to waste the energy on it, and you can just save it till you see an elite. If something has a lot of health, if there's like a Juggernaut or like one with 3 affixes, you want to Caltrops like you just saw there, and then stack your autos, Shadow Imbue, and then Pin Shot. With this build, the more time they spend in your Caltrops, the more damage they take. I believe it's like 3% a second, and it lasts for 6 seconds, so you can get like 18% extra damage. You have 2 charges of Caltrops and 2 charges of Dash. You can use them as your movement. Caltrops will always have you jump back from where your mouse is, so if you want to like reverse it and jump through packs, you can. The more mobs you have around whenever you Shadow Imbue and then Pin Shot, the more damage it does, because you're going to get exponential explosions, so you always want to make sure you can pull as big as you feel comfortable. As we get into harder difficulty, you'll have to use concealment more. I save my concealment mostly for just if I get stunned or grabbed. With this build, you can also use concealment and come out of it with Caltrops to vuln like a whole pack. Because of the passive that we took with concealment, whenever you break stealth, you apply vulnerable with whatever you break stealth with. So technically, if you break stealth with your pin shot, you'll vuln with your pin shot, but I'm not sure if that applies vuln damage with it, so I always make sure to Caltrops before I pin. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. This build's pretty easy. Here's the kill of the Den Mother again, just so everybody sees there wasn't any like really big setup. There's no Druid conduit build going on. It's just a run through, smack it a little bit, and get going. But yeah, guys, hope everybody enjoys the build, get a little more insight into it. People smarter than me, I'm sure, will figure out how to squeeze more damage out of this, and I look forward to it. But other than that, guys, I mean, I'm just gonna leave you with an event boss kill. We all killed him pretty quick here, so I'm gonna go ahead and step out. Let you guys enjoy some ambiance, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.
I'm not ready yet.